Purpose of DPSP in the Indian Constitution क्या है? The purpose of inclusion of directive principle of state policy in the Indian Constitution is to establish social and economic democracy. देखते हैं इसमें पॉलिटिकल डेमोक्रेसी, ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स के को लेकर है. पॉलिटिकल डेमोक्रेसी इज प्राइमरली इंश्योर्ड बाय फंडामेंटल राइट्स. ठीक. पार्ट 3 आर्टिकल 12 to 35 which guarantee individual freedoms, equality and participation in governance. While DPSP support democracy, their main focus is socio-economic democracy justice rather than political democracy alone. ठीक. Social democracy refers to a political system that balances capitalism and socialism, ensuring social justice through welfare policies. However, directive principles go beyond just social democracy, incorporating economic policies as well. Gandhian democracy principles are part of DPSP, जैसे विलेज पंचायत आर्टिकल 40, बट DPSP is broader and not limited to Gandhian ideology only. ठीक. सोशियो एंड इकोनॉमिक डेमोक्रेसी. DPSP aim to create an egalitarian society by ensuring economic justice and reducing inequality, जैसे आर्टिकल 38 to 39. This aligns with a goal of establishing social and economic democracy as emphasized in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's vision during Constituent Assembly debate. ठीक. आर्टिकल 38(1) क्या कहता है? स्टेट दैट शैल strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order based on justice, social, economic and political justice. ठीक. 39 ensures equitable distribution of wealth, prevention of exploitation and equal pay for equal work. लैंडमार्क केस क्या है? मिनर्वा मिल केस 1918 held that DPSPs and fundamental rights are complementary and social and economic democracy is essential for political democracy to thrive. Which one of the following is not the objective of directive principle of state? To establish welfare है, to ensure social economic justice है, to establish a religious justice नहीं है, to establish a secular state. हाँ ये भी है, लेकिन कोई खास वो नहीं है सेकुलरिज्म को लेकर यहाँ. To establish a welfare state, DPSP are a fundamental aimed at establishing a welfare state. Article 38, where the state actively intervenes in socio-economic matters to ensure public welfare. ठीक है. आर्टिकल ऑप्शन बी, टू इंश्योर socio-economic justice. DPSP ensures socio-economic justice by promoting fair distribution of wealth, labor rights and equal opportunities. आर्टिकल 39, आर्टिकल 41 to 43. टू इस्टेब्लिश रिलीजियस स्टेट, ये मतलब नहीं है. इंडिया इज ए सेकुलर स्टेट प्रीएम्बल में कहा गया है. आर्टिकल 25 to 28 में भी है. ठीक. DPSP फोकस ऑन इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल जस्टिस, नॉट रिलीजियस गवर्नेंस. टू इस्टेब्लिश ए सेकुलर स्टेट, DPSP along with the fundamental right uphold secularism, ensuring that state does not favor any religion, जैसे आर्टिकल 44 में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड है. ठीक. Additional insight, Article 36 to 51, DPSP emphasizes secular, socialist and democratic society. Keswanandan Bharti case 1973 establishes secularism as a part of basic structure of constitution. How are the directive principle of state policy different from fundamental rights? कैसे डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल DPSP जो है फंडामेंटल राइट से अलग है? फार्मर इज फॉर यूनियन गवर्नमेंट एंड लेटर इज फॉर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. ऐसा नहीं है. फार्मर इज ए पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वेयर एज लेटर इज नॉट. डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स आर नॉट इन्फोर्सेबल वेयर एज फंडामेंटल राइट्स कैन बी इन्फोर्स्ड. ये सही है. DPSP are not enforceable, whereas fundamental rights can be enforced. Former is for union government and later is for state government. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Both fundamental and DPSP apply to union and state. Former is मतलब is part of constitution where later is not. Incorrect as fundamental right and DPSP are part of constitution. DPSP are not enforceable and fundamental rights are enforceable. Article 32 are justiciable, enforceable by court. DPSP Article 37 are non-justiciable. Article 37 कहता है कि DPSP नॉन जस्टिसेबल है, मीनिंग दे कैन नॉट बी लीगली इन्फोर्स्ड बाई कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ। जैसे चंपकम दुरई राजन केस 1951 held that fundamental rights override DPSP in case of conflict. 42nd Amendment Act 1976 strengthened DPSP by directing that they must implement as much as possible. Minerva Mill case 1980 established that both FR and DPSP should be balanced. The directive principles are non-justiciable. जस्टिसिएबल मतलब नहीं, लीगली इन्फोर्सेबल नहीं है आर्टिकल 37 के अकॉर्डिंग। नॉन जस्टिसिएबल, DPSP can't be enforced in court of law but they act as guidelines for governance. Rigid, DP evolved over time through amendments, जैसे 42nd और 86th अमेंडमेंट। 42nd में 39B जोड़ा गया, ये सारी चीज़ें जोड़ी गई, ठीक। और इसमें 86th में राइट टू एजुकेशन वाला मामला है, ठीक। फंडामेंटल राइट में जोड़ा गया 21A। फ्लेक्सिबल, पार्शियली ट्रू बट द करेक्ट टर्म इज नॉन जस्टिसेबल। DPSP प्रोवाइड ए मोरल एंड पॉलिटिकल ऑब्लिगेशन ऑन द गवर्नमेंट, जैसे आर्टिकल 37 स्टेट दैट DPSPs आर नॉट इन्फोर्सेबल, दे आर फंडामेंटल इन गवर्नेंस। जुडिशियल इंटरप्रिटेशन, कोर्ट्स हैव DPSPs फॉर प्रोग्रेसिव जजमेंट्स, जैसे विशाखा केस 1977 ऑन सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट। DPSP aim to establish social and economic democracy. DPSP do not establish religious state. DPSP are non-justiciable but fundamental for governance. Judiciary has played a crucial role in interpreting DPSP's advanced social justice. Article 50. Which article of Indian Constitution said that DPSP are not enforceable by any court? Article 37. 39 क्या कहता है? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस इंक्लूडिंग लाइवलीहुड, सिक्योरिटी, इक्वल पे एंड रिसोर्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। इट डज नॉट मेंशन इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी। 38 डायरेक्ट स्टेट टू सिक्योर सोशल जस्टिस एंड वेलफेयर स्टेट बट डज नॉट डिस्कस इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी। 36 डिफाइन स्टेट एज पार्ट 4 ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बट डोंट define states as part 4 of constitution but does not address enforceability. Option D. Article 37 clearly states that DPSPs are non-justiciable but fundamental to governance. Article 37 states DPSC shall not be enforceable in any court. They are fundamental in governance of the country. The state has a duty to apply these principles in law making. Keswanandan Bharti case 1973 stressed the importance of DPSP in shaping policy even though they are not justiciable. Minerva Mill case 1980 held that DPSP can't be ignored simply because they are non-enforceable. Consider the following statement with respect to DPSP. They are not enforceable by the court. सही है. It shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. सही है. Article 37 explicitly states that DPSP are non-justiciable. The same article mandates that it is duty of the state to apply DPSP while making laws. सही है. DPSP serve as a moral and political obligation on the government. Many welfare policies like Manrega, Right to Education, National Food Security Act are based on DPSP. Consider the following statement regarding DPSP policy. These principles spell out of socio-economic democracy in the country. सही है. The provision contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. सही है. The DPSP aim to establish socio-economic democracy. Article 38, 39, 41 to 43. ठीक. DPSP are non-justiciable. Article 37. Fundamental right ensure political democracy while DPSP aim to socio-economic justice. 42nd Amendment Act 1976 क्या कहता है? Fundamental right ensure political democracy while DPSP aim for socio-economic justice. ठीक. 42nd Amendment 1976 strengthen the implementation of DPSP by adding Article 39A free legal aid, 43A workers participation and 48A environment protection. ठीक. Concept of welfare state in the India. The concept of welfare state is included in Constitution of India in DPSP. ठीक, DPSP Part 4 Article 3651 lays down the foundation for a welfare state. 4 deals with allocation of Rajya Sabha seats to state, not welfare policy. Fundamental right ensure individual freedom but do not directly focus on welfare state. Preamble declares India as a socialist republic. 42nd Amendment 1976 but DPSP give practical policies for a welfare state. ठीक है. Article 38 directs the state to promote the welfare of the people. हाँ, अरे इसको भी एक बार देख लिया जाए, भूल गया मैं. फोर्थ शेड्यूल क्या कहता है? डील विथ एलोकेशन ऑफ राज्यसभा सीट्स टू स्टेट्स. ठीक. फंडामेंटल राइट्स इंश्योर्स इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम बट डू नॉट डायरेक्टली फोकस ऑन वेलफेयर स्टेट्स. ठीक है. Preamble declares India as a socialist republic. 42nd Amendment 1976 but DPSP give practical policies for welfare state. Article 48 direct the state to promote the welfare of people. Article 39 advocate equitable distribution of wealth. 41 to 43 emphasize employment, social security and living wages. Article 38 direct the state to promote the welfare of the people. 39 advocate equitable distribution of wealth. 41 to 43 emphasizes employment, social security and living wages. Which part of the Constitution of India describe the model of a welfare state? कौन सा? तो DPSP. DPSP 36 to 51 provide the framework for a welfare state. Fundamental right part 3 ensure political democracy but DPSP ensures socio-economic democracy. Fundamental duties. Article 51A are responsibilities of citizens, not governance principles mention. Preamble mentions socialism but DPSP provide policies to implement it. Welfare measures like Manrega, Mid-Day Meal Scheme and Food Security Act are inspired by DPSP. The idea of India as a welfare state is found in Preamble of Constitution and DPSP. Preamble declared India as a socialist state which support welfare objective. Fundamental duties do not directly establish a welfare state. DPSP provide concrete provision for welfare. 36 to 51. ठीक है. Dr. Ambedkar emphasized that India must work towards both political and economic democracy. Preamble 42nd Amendment 1976 added socialist to reinforce welfare objective. Article 37 makes DPSP non-enforceable but fundamental to governance. DPSP impose a duty on the state to apply them in lawmaking. DPSP ensures socio-economic democracy. DPSP not fundamental right define India as a welfare state. Preamble and DPSP together provide framework for a welfare state. With reference to the Constitution of India, directive principle of state policy constitute limitation upon legislative function नहीं, एक्सिक्यूटिव फंक्शन नहीं. अरे भाई ये जुडिशियरी के अकॉर्डिंग है ही नहीं, तो मतलब जुडिशियबल है ही नहीं, तो क्या मतलब है इसका किसी पे वो करना, रौब जनाना. ये बस डायरेक्शन है समझिए स्टेट को कि आप इस तरीके से काम कीजिए, बाकी कोई मतलब नहीं है. मतलब है मतलब, लेकिन मतलब वैसे मतलब नहीं है. DPSP impose limitation on legislative function गलत है. DPSP do not impose limitation on legislature but act as a guiding principles. Legislatures are expected to implement DPSPs but are not legally bound by them. Supreme Court in Minerva Mill case 1980 ruled that DPSP are not restriction on legislation but rather directives of states for directives for state to follow. DPSP impose limitation on executive function गलत है. Executive government is not restricted by DPSP but is expected to use them as policy goals. Article 37 clearly state that DPSP are non-justiciable, meaning the executive cannot be sued in court for non-implementation of DPSP. ठीक है, अब देखते हैं आगे हम लोग. DPSPs do not limit legislative or executive function but serve as guiding principle for policy formulation. ठीक, Article 37 makes it clear that DPSP are fundamental in governance but cannot be enforced through courts. Legislation such as Manrega 2005, Right to Education Act 2009, Food Security Act 2013 were enacted to implement DPSP, but they were not forced upon legislature or executive. Enforceability and role of DPSP in lawmaking. With reference to the provision contained in Part 4 of Constitution of India, which of the following statement is are correct? They shall be enforced by courts. नहीं, they shall not be enforced by any court. सही. Principles laid down in this part are influence and making apply by state. सही है. DPSP shall be enforceable by courts. गलत है. Article 37 explicitly states that DPSP are not enforceable in courts. Courts cannot issue writs for their implementation unlike fundamental rights जैसे Article 32 और Article 226. DPSP shall not be enforceable by any court. True, Supreme Court just repeatedly ruled that DPSP can't be enforced directly. Case reference State of Madras versus Champak Doraji in case 1951. Supreme Court ruled that fundamental right will prevail over DPSP in case of conflict. ठीक. However, in later Keswanandan Bharti case 1973 and Minerva Mill case 1980, Supreme Court held that DPSP and fundamental right must be harmonized. ठीक. DPSP influence the making of laws. True. Even though DPSP are not enforceable, they play a major role in shaping India's laws and policies. Examples of laws inspired by DPSP जैसे Article 39A Free Legal Aid, Legal Service Authorities Act 1987, Article 41 Right to Work Manrega 2005, Article 45 Every Childhood Education Right to Education Act 2009. ठीक. Article 47 Nutrition Public Health National Food Security Act 2013. ठीक. While DPSPs are not legally enforceable, they carry strong moral and political weight. Amendment like 42nd Amendment Act 1976, 86th Amendment Act 2002 were passed to strengthen the implementation of DPSP. Indian courts have used DPSP to interpret expand fundamental right, जैसे right to education under Article 21A. कॉन्सेप्ट देखा जाए, DPSP limit legislature and executive function. No, DPSP do not impose any limitation. They are only guiding principle. Are DPSPs enforceable by court? No, Article 37 states that they are non-justiciable. Do DPSP influence lawmaking? Yes, several laws like Manrega 2005, RT Right to Education and Food Security Act, ये Right to Education Article 41 है शायद. नहीं, Article 45 है. Right to Manrega Article 41, Food Security Act 47. Important case State of Madras versus Champakam Doraiji 1951, case Vanandan Bharti case 1973, Minerva case Mill 1980. Important amendment 42nd Amendment 1976 added Article 39A Free Legal Aid. 43A ये क्या था? 43A कुछ था, आगे हम देख लेंगे. 48A 86th Amendment Act 2002 made education a fundamental right. Article 20A inspired by Article 45. Directive principle of state policy may be classified into which of the following part for the sake of convenient study? Socialist, liberal, intellectualist, Gandhian, all of them. सही है. The Indian Constitution does not explicitly classify DPSP, but they are conveniently grouped into three categories based on their objective and ideology. जैसे socialist principle aimed to economic and social justice. Article 38 state to ensure social order based on justice, social, economic or political. 39 equitable wealth distribution, right to livelihood and equal pay. ठीक. 41 right to work, education and public assistance. 42 human working condition and maternity leave. ठीक है. Gandhian principle inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's ideal. Article 40 organization of village panchayat implemented via 73rd Amendment 1992. 43 promotion of cottage industry. 46 protection of scheduled caste, SC, ST and weaker section. 47 prohibition of intoxicating drinks and drugs. ठीक। और ये न्यूट्रिशनल फूड को बढ़ावा देने के लिए भी है ये। लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रिंसिपल इंस्पायर्ड बाय वेस्टर्न आइडियल, जैसे 44 यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, 45 अर्ली चाइल्डहुड एजुकेशन, लेटर इनकॉर्पोरेटेड आर्टिकल 21 ए 86th अमेंडमेंट 2002, 48 ए इन्वायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन एडेड 42nd अमेंडमेंट 1976। ठीक। The classification helps in better understanding the purpose of DPSP and their influence on governance. Government policy like Manrega 2005, National Food Security Act 2013, and Environment Protection Act 1986 are based on these classification. Directive principle of state policy of Constitution of India is taken from Constitution of which country? Ireland. आयरलैंड ने किससे लिया था? स्पेन से लिया था। ऑस्ट्रेलिया प्रोवाइडेड आइडिया ऑफ कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट, डिवीजन ऑफ पावर बिटवीन सेंट्रल एंड स्टेट। अमेरिका फंडामेंटल राइट एंड जुडिशियल रिव्यू। ठीक। फ्रांस इंस्पायर्ड रिपब्लिकनिज्म एंड आइडियल्स ऑफ लिबर्टी, इक्वलिटी एंड फ्रेटर्निटी। आयरलैंड डीपीएसपी borrowed from Irish Constitution of 1937, which itself was inspired by Spanish Constitution. The framers of Indian Constitution adopted DPSP to promote social justice and economic welfare. DPSP ensures India's transition from a political democracy to socio-economic democracy. ठीक। The Indian Constitution borrowed DPSP from the Constitution of which country? तो ये आया था आयरलैंड से। यूके से पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। यूएसए से प्रोवाइडेड फंडामेंटल राइट एंड जुडिशियल रिव्यू। आयरलैंड जापान से फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज आर्टिकल 51A एडेड बाय द 42nd अमेंडमेंट 1976। मतलब जो 51A है वो मतलब इससे जापान के उससे वो है। आयरिश डीपीएसपी वेयर डिजाइन टू प्रमोट सोशियो इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस एंड सर्व एज ए पॉलिसी गाइड फॉर गवर्नमेंट। डीपीएसपी प्रोवाइड डायरेक्शन फॉर लॉज बट आर नॉट इन्फोर्सेबल। आर डीपीएसपी जस्टिसिएबल? नॉन जस्टिसिएबल है। आर्टिकल 37 क्लियरली स्टेट दैट डीपीएसपी आर नॉट इन्फोर्सेबल इन एनी कोर्ट बट आर फंडामेंटल इन गवर्नेंस ऑफ द कंट्री। चंपाकरण दरोजई केस 1951, सुप्रीम कोर्ट रूल्ड दैट इफ देयर इज ए कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन फंडामेंटल राइट एंड डीपीएसपी, फंडामेंटल राइट विल प्रिवेल। मतलब ये सुपीरियर रहेगा। मिनर्वा मिल केस 1980, सुप्रीम कोर्ट रूल्ड दैट द बैलेंस मस्ट बी मेंटेन बिटवीन फंडामेंटल राइट एंड डीपीएसपी। Fundamental to according to the Constitution of India, which of the following are fundamental to the governance of the country? तो ये है डीपीएसपी। मतलब गवर्नेंस के लिए एक डायरेक्शन है। आर्टिकल 37 स्टेट दैट डीपीएसपी आर फंडामेंटल इन द गवर्नेंस ऑफ द कंट्री। While fundamental rights are enforceable, DPSP provide the government with policy guidelines for ensuring social justice. DPSP led the enactment of Right to Education Act 2009 and National Food Security Act 2013. Under the Indian Constitution, concentration of wealth violate DPSP. Article 39C explicitly directs the state to prevent the concentration of wealth and means of production to prevent exploitation. Nationalization of Bank 1969 was done in the line of Article 39 to prevent wealth concentration. अच्छा, Article 39C, ठीक है। 39A क्या करता है? इंश्योर लाइवलीहुड अपॉर्चुनिटी, इक्वल लाइवलीहुड अपॉर्चुनिटीज। 39D प्रमोट इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल वर्क। 39E प्रोटेक्ट वर्कर्स फ्रॉम एक्सप्लॉयटेशन। क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ डीपीएसपी सोशलिस्ट, गांधीयन एंड लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल है। ठीक। डीपीएसपी borrowed फ्रॉम आयरलैंड 1937 कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। आर डीपीएसपी जस्टिसिएबल? नो, एज पर आर्टिकल 37 ये नॉन जस्टिसिएबल है और फंडामेंटल टू गवर्नेंस है। फंडामेंटल टू गवर्नेंस डीपीएसपी 37। प्रिवेंशन ऑफ वेल्थ कंसंट्रेशन आर्टिकल 39C। इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस, equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work has been ensured in the Indian Constitution as one of the DPSP. Article 39D of Constitution DPSP states that men and women shall receive equal pay for equal work. Equal Remuneration Act 1976 was enacted to enforce this principle. Supreme Court rulings क्या कहता है? रणधीर सिंह वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया 1982, Supreme Court upheld equal pay for equal work as a constitutional goal, though not a fundamental right. State of Punjab versus Jagjit Singh 2016, Supreme Court ruled that the temporary employees cannot be paid less than permanent employees. for a same work. Fundamental right ensure equality, Article 14 to 16, but DPSP provide the framework for socio-economic justice. Economic rights are not a separate category in the Constitution but are embedded within DPSP and fundamental right. Which one of the following is included in DPSP? Protection in respect for conviction of offenses, यह आर्टिकल 22, ये आर्टिकल 20 है, ठीक. प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लाइफ एंड पर्सनल लिबर्टी 21. प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफ माइनॉरिटीज़, ये मतलब उसमें 29, 33 कल्चरल वाला है. इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल वर्क फॉर बोथ, ये आर्टिकल 39 है, ठीक. 39D यही है. प्रोटेक्शन इन रिस्पेक्ट टू कन्विक्शन ऑफ ऑफेंसेस, Article 20. Protection of life and personal liberty guaranteed under Article 21 as a fundamental right. Protection of interest of minorities, part of fundamental right, Article 29 to 30. Equal pay for equal work ensured under Article 39D. DPSP serve as a guiding principle for labor laws, including Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Manrega 2005, and Code of Wages 2019. Which of the following is not a fundamental right? Right against exploitation है. इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल, ये 39D में आता है, ठीक. ये DPSP है. इक्वलिटी बिफोर लॉ 14. राइट अगेंस्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, ये आर्टिकल कौन सा है? आर्टिकल 23, 24 है. जैसे 23 में ये है कि ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग वाला और लेबर वो, और 24 में है कि हजार्डियस, जो 14 साल से कम के बच्चे हैं ज़बरदस्ती काम नहीं करवा सकते. राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन आर्टिकल 30 है, मतलब 25 to 28 है, सॉरी. राइट अगेंस्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन फंडामेंटल राइट अंडर आर्टिकल 23, 24. इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल वर्क नॉट ए फंडामेंटल राइट बट ए DPSP अंडर आर्टिकल 39D. इक्वलिटी बिफोर लॉ गारंटीड अंडर आर्टिकल 14 एज फंडामेंटल राइट. Right to freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28. Fundamental right are justiciable and enforceable, while DPSP are not enforceable in courts but guide state policies. Panchayati Raj system in India is laid down under DPSP, Article 40. DPSP states that states shall organize village panchayat and endow them with necessary powers. 73rd Amendment Act 1990 to implement this by adding Part 9, Article 243 to 243O to the Constitution, giving constitutional status to Panchayati Raj institutions. ठीक. Panchayati Raj was recommended by Balwant Rai Mehta Committee 1957. 73rd Amendment Act made a 3-tier system of Panchayati Raj mandatory. ठीक. अब आगे देखते हैं हम लोग क्या मामला है. इसमें ये हम लोगों को करना है. फॉर्मेशन ऑफ विलेज पंचायत, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आर्टिकल 44 है. एग्रीकल्चरल एंड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री आर्टिकल 48 है, ठीक. फॉर्मेशन सेपरेशन ऑफ जुडिशियरी आर्टिकल 50 है. और ये फॉर्मेशन ऑफ विलेज पंचायत आर्टिकल 40 है. ये 51 नहीं होना चाहिए, 40 होना चाहिए. आर्टिकल फॉर्मेशन ऑफ विलेज पंचायत 40, UCC 14(4), एग्रीकल्चर एनिमल हस्बेंड्री 48, सेपरेशन ऑफ जुडिशियरी फ्रॉम एक्सिक्यूटिव 50. आर्टिकल 40 स्ट्रेंथन 73rd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1992. 44(6) implement UCC for national integration. 48 calls for scientific method in agriculture and ban on cattle slaughter. ठीक. ये बढ़ावा देता है साइंटिफिक एग्रीकल्चर को. और 50 इंश्योर्स इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ जुडिशरी फ्रॉम एक्सिक्यूटिव, इम्प्लीमेंट थ्रू सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर डॉक्ट्राइन. ठीक. आर्टिकल 15 सही है. इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल वर्क आर्टिकल 39D DPSP नॉट ए फंडामेंटल राइट. फंडामेंटल राइट वर्सेस DPSP's fundamental right are justiciable. DPSPs are non-enforceable. Panchayati Raj system based on Article 40 implemented by 73rd Amendment. Key DPSPs articles: Article 40 Panchayat, Article 44 UCC, Article 48 Agriculture, Article 50 Judiciary Suppression. ठीक. अब ये मैच करना है। आर्टिकल 40 हम लोग का क्या होगा, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ विलेज पंचायत 44, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड 48, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड हस्बेंड्री 41, राइट टू वर्क 40. Organization of village panchayat direct the state to organize village panchayat, endowing them to power to function as unit of self-government basis for 73rd Amendment Act 1992, which gave constitutional status to Panchayati Raj institution. 41. Right to work, education and public assistance enjoins the state to make provision for work, education and public assistance in cases of employment, old age, sickness, etc. Manrega 2005, which is real world example aligning with this principle. Article 44, Uniform Civil Code seeks to secure common civil code for all citizens, promoting national integration, frequently discussed in debates of personal laws and secularism, organization of agriculture and prohibit the slaughter. Article 48, certain categories of cattle, emphasis of emphasizes scientific animal husbandry to improve livestock. Article 48, Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry direct the state to modernize agriculture and prohibit the slaughter of certain categories of cattle, emphasize scientific animal husbandry to improve livestock. Which of the following is not correctly met? Article 39A, Equal Justice and Free Legal Aid सही है. Article 40, Organization of Village पंचायत सही है. 44 सही है. 48 जो है ये उससे लेकर है, मतलब एग्रीकल्चर को लेकर है. ठीक. सप्रेशन ऑफ जुडिशरी ये आर्टिकल 50 है. ठीक, देखते हैं. आर्टिकल 39 है, इंश्योर इक्वल जस्टिस एंड फ्री लीगल एड एडेड बाय 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1976. 40, कंसर्न विलेज पंचायत. 44, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. 48, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री, नॉट द सप्रेशन ऑफ जुडिशरी फ्रॉम एक्सिक्यूटिव. सप्रेशन ऑफ जुडिशरी फ्रॉम एक्सिक्यूटिव इज अंडर आर्टिकल 50, नॉट आर्टिकल 48. ठीक, तो यहाँ हम लोग का पहला पार्ट खत्म होता है. अब अगले में मिलते हैं. थैंक यू, बाय बाय.